In this video, you'll see how to build a frequency table to list things like favorite subjects, and then how we can play around with that to improve the design, which will help us make nicer looking graphs. So the first thing is we've got the favorite subjects listed here in column B of our sheet. It goes from B2 down to cell B51 at the bottom. Now there's a lot of subjects listed here. They're a bit jumbled up. The easiest way to get them sorted so that get them listed so that we have them all is to use a function called unique. So I'm just going to type my equals sign and then start typing the word unique, and you'll see it comes up here. It says unique rows in the provided source range. So I'll click on that. I'll select my range of data and close the brackets, press enter, and there we have the list of all the subjects. Now mine aren't all centered. I'm just going to center align those so they look a little bit nicer, and there we go. There we have the list of subjects. Now if we want to make a frequency table to see how many times each of these subjects appears, we're going to use the COUNTIF function. So I'm going to go to the next cell there. I'm going to say equals COUNTIF. That's come up there, a conditional count. That means it's going to count things based on a condition we put on it. Open the brackets. Range, that's where my data is. And I'm going to select all the data there. And then I'm going to say, put a comma in, and it'll say criterion. That's what I'm looking for. So the criterion is maths. But rather than type the word maths, I'm just going to click on that cell so it comes up as F2. So it says COUNTIF B2 to B51, so that means look in cells B2 to B51, comma, and look for whatever's in cell F2, which is maths. Close the brackets, press enter, and there we go. Now it's suggested an autofill here, which I'm going to take for now, but we're going to go back and correct that. So I'll just click there, and it's done an autofill. Now I want to check I've got all 50, so I'm going to add them up here. Equals sum will allow me to add them up, and select those numbers. And I've got 50, and I know I've got 50 pieces of data because my data range goes down to row 51, but the top row doesn't contain any data, it's the headings. So that's 50 pieces of data, that's good. Now that would seem all right, but if I check these, let me just check science. If you look up here, it says COUNTIF B3 to B52, not 2 to 51, and the same here, 4 to 53. So when I fill this formula down, it keeps changing the rows. As I go down one row, it's changing the rows in the formula as well. I want the purple one, which is the subject I'm looking for. I want that to change because now I'm here. I want it to be looking for art, which is in F4. But I don't want the range, the orange bit, to change. The way I can do that, I'm going to go back to my first formula, is to stop it changing these numbers. And to do that, before the 2, I'm going to type a dollar sign, that's shift 4. And before the 51, I'm going to type a dollar sign. And then I'll press enter. And now I'm going to drag fill. So drag fill, select the cell, hover over the blue dot until your cursor changes, click and drag down. Okay, and that's drag fill. Now we've got the same results, but if you look here at the formulas, look here up on the formula bar, the formulas, the 2 and the 51 are staying the same, and the F, what we're looking for, is changing, which is what we want. Okay, right. That's all very nice, apart from these aren't sorted into any particular order, and it would be really nice if we sorted these. Now there's two ways we could sort them. We could have the subject in alphabetical order, or we could have them ranked by how many people said those responses. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do that. I'm going to show you 3 different techniques actually. The first 2 are very similar. So first of all, I've got this unique list here, and then I did my COUNTIF. But before I do my COUNTIF, I could have sorted these out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do equals, and then I'm going to use the command SORT. And I'm just going to select that range of data, close my brackets, press enter, and now you can see they're sorted into alphabetical order. Now there are options that allow you to sort in different orders, but we wanted them in alphabetical order, so that was really easy to do. Okay, a little fix on that though is that we don't need to do these like that based on that unique, we can actually build the two things together. So we can say equals sort bracket, and then we can write within the brackets unique, and then select our data. Close the brackets for unique. You can see they're highlighted there. Then close the brackets for sort. Press enter, and we actually get them sorted straight away with just one command. So what that's doing, if you look up on the formula bar, is it's doing the bit in brackets first, and then it goes, as we know, we do the bits in brackets first. So the center brackets are B2 to B51, so we look at B2 to B51, then we go out to unique and it finds the unique values, and then we go out to sort and then it sorts them in order. So we start with the innermost brackets and we work out just like you would do when you were doing calculations. So we can get all that in one go. So that's really nice. We've got that now, and we can now do our COUNTIF. So if I now do my COUNTIF on that, I'll just scroll down to COUNTIF. I'll select my range. I'll remember to put my dollar signs in now because I know I need those. And then what am I looking for? I'm looking for art. Press enter. It asks me to autofill. I'll say yes, and there we go. And we've got them sorted in alphabetical order now. And you can check that these numbers here, art is 4, Chinese is 3, Chinese is 3. They're all the same. Okay, that's really nice to get them sorted into alphabetical order. But what if we wanted to take our table, the original table we got, and we wanted to sort them into order so the biggest bar came first and the smallest bar came at the end? So maths needs to be first, but then it should be PE and INS, and then it should be science. So we've got them in order with the biggest bars first. Well, we can do that as well. I'm going to do that just to the side here, and I'm going to use sort again. I'm going to use a bit more of the sort function this time. So equals sort. Okay, range. Now this time I'm going to select the whole table as my range. Then if I press comma, it says sort column. Which column do I want to sort on? Well, I want to sort on column G, which is where my scores are, which is the second column. The subjects are in the first column, this one here, and the frequencies, how many people there were, the count, is in the second column. So I'm going to put 2 in there for the second column, and I'm going to press comma, and then it says is ascending. So it says, do I want these to be in ascending order, i.e. going from smallest to biggest? Well, no, I want them going from biggest to smallest, so I want them going the other way. So I can type false in here, and that hopefully will work. There we go. We now have that table sorted so that maths has come first, and then PE and INS second, because they've got 9, science with 8, and so on. So they're now sorted into order. So the biggest bar is first, the smallest bar is second. Now there were extra sort options you want to explore. We've got PE and INS there, both on 9, but not in alphabetical order. So I wonder if you can explore sort to sort them first of all into how many people said that, and then if there are any ties to sort them into alphabetical order. So INS and PE the other way round. Art and English both on 4, they are in alphabetical order, so that's good. Okay, so there's a little explanation of frequency tables using unique and using sort and using COUNTIF to get really nice frequency tables. Good luck.